Hey guys, what's up? Murder of Birds here. So this is going to be a very impromptu theory crafted video that I've just been thinking about over the last 24 hours ever since the Teyvat Chapter Interlude teaser came out. At the time of me recording this right now, I just uploaded my reaction to that onto the YouTube channel. So a bunch of people are watching it, leaving comments. I just went through the editing process. The next video that I'm going to upload after this one is going to be my reaction and thoughts of the drip marketing for Tighnari, Kali, Dottore, as well as all of the Fatui Harbinger's identities. That was going to be at the tail end of the reaction video, but the video would have been over an hour long, and I didn't want it to be that long for a reaction video. I didn't want people to feel overwhelmed to not watch the video overall. So all of that will be in the next video, which is going to focus on the 3.0 drip marketing. But for this video, there was something that I said in that reaction video of the interlude teaser that just kind of like stewed in my brain for the last 24 hours, especially when I was going through my edits for the reaction video, that I wanted to follow up here. There's this ending cutscene with Dottore that really didn't sit well with me because I felt like I was missing something in how it was worded. And I talked about it with my Discord for a little bit, and I gave them my crack theory, and I'm going to run it by you guys as well, and we can talk about it, have a conversation, especially for any of you guys out there who might be big fans of Genshin Impact. But as the title of the video would suggest, I actually legitimately think there is more than one Dottore within the world of Genshin Impact based solely on this last cutscene that I'm going to jump into, you guys, and I'm going to give you guys my rationale and my explanation. So let's just jump into it.
I must say, you're looking very young today, Doctor.
So this first line is already setting me off based on how the ending of this cutscene plays out. So the first message we get here is from a girl that I don't think we've heard thus far. This might be Columbina, aka the Damselette. So the girl that was doing like the singing of Rosalind's boss theme music. I think she's the only female character of this set that we hadn't heard talk like prominently outside of Arlecchino and the girl with like the robot like Conria like butler dude. So it says, I must say you're looking very young today, Doctor. And it's confusing because it's like, based on the end of the trailer, how is she talking to Dottore if he's burning a tree out in Sumeru? Initially watching this trailer for the first time, I was losing my mind with everything, but upon reflection I was like, okay, something doesn't add up with this. And this also kind of coincides with what I said in my trailer reaction. You're looking very young today. You know I don't take that as a compliment. Is the doctor old as fuck or something? Like, what's going on? So with those two things in mind, let's go into the next line.
You know very well that I do not take that as a compliment.
So this second line is interesting too, because it seems to be that this compliment that she's giving him, oh, you look very young for yourself right now, Doctor. It seems to strike a nerve with him. It seems to be something that he's very self-conscious with. And knowing Dottore and knowing his history within the manga and within the past, he is a very experimental person. He experiments with kids. He experiments with kids of the Fatui, with kids out in Sumeru, similar like to what happened in Kali's situation. Granted, I don't think he had a direct hand in her situation, but nonetheless, he is a man of science to the point where he's willing to experiment on people he works alongside with. Check out the manga if you want to know what I mean by that. But I don't think Dottore is above self-experimentation. And the reason I say that is because for him to be self-conscious about his age, it's one of two things. Either something is happening to his body that he's aware of that is causing him to age, or it's a process of him having a Harbinger Fatui delusion. One of the two. But I really am leaning more onto self-experimentation because I feel like Dottore's just that far gone, that far mad of a scientist to do something like that. So let's carry on, and I'll show you guys how all of this connects.
So, where's the segment in the prime of his life then?
I want to tell you guys that this line was incredibly perplexing for me to even rationalize to myself, and I'm the one who thought of this, right? So the reason this confused me is because segment is capitalized. So if the word segment is capitalized, it implies that it's a proper name. So it's basically a name given to someone. So she asks, so where's the segment in the prime of his life then? So if you break down the wording, so number one, segment capitalized, which implies that that's a name given to a person. Number two, segment itself is a word which has a definition, which by definition, I have it pulled up here. Segment is a word defined as each of the parts parts into which something is or may be divided. And it also mentions in the prime of his life. So she just complimented Dottore for his youth, and I feel like that was kind of like a slate to him, like, hey, you're looking pretty young, really means, oh, you look like shit, basically. So what this is implying to me is that Dottore has committed some type of self-experimentation which has made him age, and as a result has allowed him to create a younger prime of his life version of himself, which he considers to be a segment, a part of himself, which is why segment is capitalized. And so this Dottore that is here in Sumeru burning this tree to the ground, seemingly, I don't think this is the Dottore, but an extension of him. Because when we go further here, it says that this one with an experiment, this Dottore is a youthful young version. And I think this is a safeguard, because realistically, look at the situation of this trailer. They are at the funeral of one of their own that was just killed by the Electro Archon. So I think it's actually really smart and tactical for him to be like, I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. I would much rather create a doppelganger copycat segment clone of myself to send to Sumeru to do my bidding. So if it gets bodied, guess what? We get in, we get out, we get what we need. And if the clone gets killed, so be it. But it still comes at a cost of his health and his overall aging. And, you know, before I actually sat down to record this, I actually sent this crack theory to my Discord, and I was like, oh my God, I think I have something here based on this tiny little like 10-15 second excerpt of the trailer. So basically putting all of this together with the girl talking to the doctor and the name segment seemingly referring to the Dottore in the next shot, this one here that's burning the tree in Sumeru, I think, or I'm presenting the theory that Dottore is in two places at once right now, and he is both the doctor that the girl is talking to, but also this segmented version that's out in Sumeru causing problems. Now, I don't know how that's possible. I believe it probably has something to do with delusions, or if he has a vision, or the power of the, you know, the Saritsa or whatever, or the power of science and magic and whatnot. We don't really know the depth of how Dottore is able to do things like create that like mechanized version of one of his henchmen from the manga. Like that shit just kind of happened, but he made it happen. So there's clearly things that we're gonna learn, you know, about Dottore over the course of the game. But I just wanted to kind of present this forward because it's just really interesting and cool to see that MiHoYo kind of gave us more information than seemingly Dottore being somebody that we fight when we get to Sumeru. It's actually a bit deeper. The Dottore we fight might actually not be the Dottore after all, but no less a formidable version. And I just think that's really, really cool. So I just want to know what you guys think about this overall. Obviously, you know, over the course of the game, we're getting encounters with all of the Harbingers. So it's a really cool way for us to kind of have an encounter with Dottore without completely bodying him and killing him off from the game. You know, we can still have the older version kicking off in Zapoliarni Palace. And I don't know if he's going to continue to like create segments of himself, because this has to come at a cost, not just at his life, but like, I don't know if he's got to sacrifice a portion of his body or a portion of his heart or his soul or whatever to make this happen. But it just seems like a really awesome situation for him, and something that we've never really seen before, because, you know, everybody else kind of just showed up wholeheartedly. Scaramouche, Child, Signora, and Dottore is the first one that's trying to take preventative measures from dying, because again, they just buried one of their own, or they just encased one of their own in an eternal frozen prison. But yeah, that's kind of everything. I do think I am committed, I am convinced at this point that there are at least two Dottore, if not more than two, in the world of Teyvat through this experimentation and the wording here between these two interacting for this last bit of the cutscene. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts overall. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, the 3.0 drip marketing will probably be uploaded later today, if not tomorrow, because I don't want to bombard you guys with too many uploads today. But that's it for me. Thank you guys all so much. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.